Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of the Houston Roundball Review. Takeover of the lunch break, also known as Throwback Thursday. I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching me on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, FireTV, YouTube, and of course on ROKU via the BS3 network. I am going to do this because I want everyone to get ready. And I mean that. Get ready. It's a new month, August 1st. One more time, because I got stuff to say today. Coug fans of Houston Cougars men's basketball, get ready. Miss Wanda, are you ready? I hope you're ready. Rex 32, I hope you're able to join in momentarily. CA37, I hope you're able to join in momentarily. Going to talk about basketball. Tran, how are you? Got some stuff to share. Going to be of interest to you as well. H-Town hoops. And Rex, thank you, Tran, from the West Coast. That's why he says morning. Rex, good afternoon. All right. It's been announced by colleague Joseph Duarte from the Chronicle and others that the Houston Cougars will face Auburn November 9th at Toyota Center. That was announced, I think, Tuesday after the Forever Cougs won their quarterfinal matchup to advance to the TBT Final Four. Wednesday, it was also a little more detail was added that the matchup would be the first of two meetings, a home-and-home series with Auburn this season here at H-Town at Toyota Center, Saturday, November 9th. Next season will be taking place in Birmingham. Neutral sites. The people involved were the same group of folks who were involved in the Battleground 2K events that initially took place here in Houston, then for a couple of years took place at Dickies Arena. The Cougs were part of the matchup at Dickies against St. Mary's. So it's the same folks involved for that. So yes, it is a home and home. As of Wednesday morning, July 31st, still waiting for the contracts to be signed. Rex 32, Miss Tran, Miss Wanda. Listen to this. This here is where apparently the fact the University of Houston does not have an athletics director is an issue. Because no AD to sign a contract. You heard that right. No AD to sign a contract. Interim AD was out of town. So that's why the contract, as of Wednesday, had not been signed. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's going to happen. But just think about athletics administration dragging its feet on the hiring an AD. And I touched on it last Thursday and how slow that process is going. The piss poor pay offers, the contract proposals being suggested, the length of contracts, no one in their right mind would take the job. So yes, that's part of the issue. It's not a good look. So yes, it's not a good look. Oh Lord. Rex says, yep, exactly. But it's going to happen. Okay, don't worry, it will happen. It's not a good look that one of the holdups is because of there's no AD. I mean, I'm an alum. I'm a proud alum, but I've seen a lot in my 30 years of the Houston Roundball Review and covering Houston athletics. This is just another chapter, another page in the chapter of the saga that is Houston athletics. But back to it, yes, Houston Auburn, same folks. I think it was the U Sports Group, same folks involved with the Battleground 2K events previous years are involved for the Auburn Houston game taking place November 9th, Saturday at Toyota Center. But that's not all I want to share about Houston Cougars men's basketball. Tell your friends, chime in these next few minutes. I got more to share about Houston Cougars men's basketball. I don't put in writing. I'm not writing as much. Today's edition of the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break. Well, hopefully it's going to be streaming live on the BS3 network on ROKU. I had waited most of the summer to hopefully have some sponsors for my plan to have more editions of Folks Talking Sports weekdays. That has not happened yet, but I'm still going to do it 2 or 3 times a week. FTS, Folks Talking Sports. New month, new opportunities for people to buy merch, support the Roundball Review, but also watch live stream shows. And oh, by the way, my colleague Adolphus A.D. Moore, I think, should have arrived in Ohio, and he will be on his way to Canton, Ohio for the Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinement events. The Texans play their game tonight, and then you got more festivities Friday and Saturday. The induction ceremony is Saturday. Well, AJ goes into the Hall of Fame. Number 80 for the Texans goes into the Hall of Fame. But back to basketball and the Houston Cougars. Mr. Tran, Miss Wanda, Rex 32, I hope you're sitting down. I hope you're sitting down. Before November 9th, the game against Auburn, there are discussions ongoing. Mark your calendar. It should happen, barring something unforeseen. It will happen. But right now, it's in discussion, and it's pretty advanced. It will happen. October 27th. And I'm going to be careful with what I can say. But when I say sources have told me, y'all know I don't pull stuff out of my butt when I'm on these shows. 30 years, I've gained the trust of people connected. Okay? I'll leave it at that. But sources have told me October 27th in H-Town for charity. Keep that in mind. For charity, the Houston Cougars will face the Texas A&M Aggies. For charity, Sunday, October 27th. You're hearing that here on the Houston Roundball Review takeover. Tweet it. Post it on Facebook. KG said, Chris Gardner said. Chris Gardner is reporting, however you want to put it. Sunday, October 27th. Exhibition game is for charity. For charity. Houston Cougars versus Texas A&M. And Rex, guess where it's going to take place? Or, like I said, in talks, discussions, guess where it will take place? And it's Sunday. Part of the discussions is for the game to be televised. Not at Fertitta. No, sir. Part of the discussions, this exhibition, keep that in mind, exhibition, so it's not going to count. It's exhibition. The season starts officially, college hoops, on November 4th, 5th. Monday for the women, Tuesday for the men. For charity. No, sir. No, sir. Not at Toyota Center. So it's not at Fertitta, not at Toyota. And I'm not being petty, arrogant, whatever. But make sure you tell your friends it wasn't John Rothstein. It wasn't any of the other local writers, anybody else nationally. Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review is saying this. Neutral site. Yes. Bingo, Mr. Tran. Bingo at H&PE Arena. Yes, at H&PE Arena. So proceeds will go to charity. That'll be named later on. The Houston Texans have a home game that Sunday, October 27th at noon. So the exhibition game is not going to start at noon, okay? Common sense should prevail. The game will not take place during the Texans football game. All right? So between noon and 3, the game won't happen. So after 3 o'clock, look for it to happen. And again, exhibition game. Cougs, Aggies, for charity. So that's one of the things when I posted yesterday on Facebook and the YouTube community page and on Threads at Houston Roundball Review and on Instagram, etc., Houston Roundball Review. Sources have told me, and I talked about college fans should tune in, especially Coug fans. That's another tidbit I'm sharing. But I'm not done. I'm not done regarding the Houston Cougars men's basketball. This last tidbit is interesting. And I'll put it like us. You guys, based on what I say to you, type in the comments your response when I mention this. We all know, I reported it. It's been reported nationally. Initially, CBS Sports' Matt Norlander was the first one really to report it, write about it, discuss it. He discussed it in a podcast interview with me regarding the Players Era Festival, which will take place the last week in November, Thanksgiving week, in Las Vegas. It's an NIL event. The initial reports, as I take a sip out of my Houston Roundball Review mug, hint, hint, hint. Game take place Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Right? That's what the report said. That's what we were told. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. And that Tuesday is November 26th in Vegas. And reportedly, the first matchup of the Players Era Festival group play, Cougs part of a group, which features Alabama, Rutgers, and Creighton, I believe, was to be Houston versus Alabama, Tuesday, November 26th. Rex 32, Mr. Tran, Miss Wanda, and everybody chiming in at the last minute as you're watching right now, this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. Not so fast, my friends, as Lee Corso said and made famous. Game may not take place, might not take place on November 26th. Sources have told me. Well, I know this has already been posted as well. There is another matchup scheduled in Vegas on Tuesday, November 26th at T-Mobile Arena, featuring some Blue Bloods. And that matchup is, y'all already know it. If you don't already know it, it's Duke, Kansas. So, discussions have begun. Some people, marketing, promotion, etc. Why should we have Duke, Kansas, and Alabama, Houston playing on the same day? So there's been some scuttlebutt that the Houston Cougars versus Alabama matchup might move to a different day during that week in Las Vegas. Still part of the Players Era Festival, but it might not be on Tuesday, November 26th. Another curveball. The Cougs, the Players Era Festival might extend to Saturday instead of Tuesday, Wednesday, off for Thanksgiving, games on Friday. Now it might be Tuesday, Wednesday, off Thursday, Friday, games on Saturday. Or even Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. A lot of stuff going on, and Rex sums it up. What's going on with this scheduling? If you're wondering why hasn't there been, as schools, colleges, teams are beginning to release and announce their non-conference schedules, what's up with Houston? Why haven't the Cougs put out their non-conference schedule? It's because nothing is finalized yet. Nothing is official. You got to dot those I's and cross those T's and get all the ducks in a row. You know all the cliches. So that's what's going on. Ideally, once the contracts are signed, and by the way, there is also now talk that the games, or at least some of the games involving the Players Era Festival, will now be televised on linear TV, not just a streaming platform. Because pick the network, ESPN, Fox. Hell, why would we want to miss a chance to broadcast a potential top 5 meeting between Houston and Alabama? Yeah, hell yeah, we want to put that on TV. So that's all part of the discussions. And Wednesday, Friday, Saturday sounds a lot better. Thanksgiving weekend schedule. Granted, one of those issues. Yeah, football Saturday. And I think that football Saturday, isn't that the day of Ohio State, Michigan, as well? That's kind of like rivalry Saturday in college football. So that is an issue, point of contention, discussion going on with the basketball folks. But this is on point. A decision does need to be made for travel purposes, everything. Because it messed up my plans when I heard about Saturday? What? I was planning to come home on Saturday. So yeah, what is going on here? And Mario, thank you for chiming in. Houston Bama, the better game, but the other game ain't too bad though. I think Mario is either a Coug fan or a Bama fan rather than a Duke or KU fan. But basketball, I'll I'd hope to be there in the building to watch both, on Tuesday. I was like, hey, it's a hell of a double hitter for me. But all of this is still in the works. Got to get everybody in agreement. Got to get the TV networks happy and satisfied, and if they can pull this off and agree on tip-off time and game time and this, yeah, all of this, and go back to it. Yes, again, if you're joining it right now, Sunday, October 27th, Houston Cougars men's basketball versus Texas A&M in an exhibition game for charity to take place at Texas Southern's H&PE Arena. Details still being hashed out, all of that stuff. Title sponsors, everything imagined. TV network, tip time. Only thing I'm pretty certain of is going to happen, and it won't happen between noon and 3 on Sunday because the Houston Texans have a football game, a home game on Sunday, October 27th. So a lot of different stuff to toss out there. And back at it one more time about the game between Houston and Auburn on November 9th, Saturday, November 9th, taking place at Toyota Center. I believe that game will be part of a double hitter, at least a double hitter. So two more teams, other teams will be competing head-to-head, squaring off. And the Rice Owls might be involved in that other game. Rice Owls men's team might be involved in that other game. So it might be at least two games taking place inside Toyota Center on that Saturday, November 9th. I know the opponent mentioned for Rice. It's a big time opponent from a power program, power program, and a power conference. So yes, it'd be a heck of a step up for Coach Rob Lanier and his young Rice Owls. A major step up. But digest all of that, the info that I've given you in these first 20 plus minutes of this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, my man Andre A.J. Jones from Jones Media and Entertainment. As you're watching this on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, FireTV, YouTube, of course, on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, and without question on Roku via the BS3 network, BS3 TV, BS3 network, changing the way you watch TV. So that's a lot to digest. But yes, spread the word, text your friends, share the link to today's show that they can watch live or watch it on demand later on Roku on BS3. Miss Wanda, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And I'm not trying to be arrogant. I can't be arrogant. I'm too old to be arrogant. I was that in my younger days when I was a teenager and didn't know any better. But I am going to do a better job, be more aggressive and active in promoting my content, in my information. I thought about doing this yesterday, sharing the information yesterday, but I decided to save it for the takeover right now on Thursday for the crowd on Roku, the audience on Roku, Fire TV, Twitter, and Twitch. And got more info probably coming up, interviews and things like that. Corey, how you doing? Corey, what did you hear? Because if you just now joined, you missed a lot. But type in what you hear, and I can sum it up real quick. And as I wait for your comments to type, and I'll pull up this schedule of non-conference for Texas Southern women's basketball. open up on the road against Stephen F. Austin. First game of the season, first day of college basketball for women's hoops is that Monday, November 4th. And then, all right, this Corey, I'll be quick summary for Corey. And anyone watching who just joined, because I can see the numbers kind of going up and down, increasing as Tran, no news about Houston. No. Not the Cougars. No. Nothing to share. Nothing like that. No non-conference info. We're still waiting on it. But it also pertains to, like I said, same thing regarding the UH men's non-conference. You haven't seen it posted or announced because it hasn't been finalized yet. But Corey, real quickly, November 9th, Saturday, November 9th, at Toyota Center, Houston Cougars men's hoops will face Auburn in the first of a home-and-home series this season. Next season will be in Birmingham, Alabama. Neutral site games. Waiting on the contract to be signed as of Wednesday, July 31st. Because UH doesn't have an AD, and their interim AD is out of town and unavailable to sign a contract. That's what I was told on that one. Next, Corey. Mark your calendar. Sunday, October 27th. An exhibition matchup between the Cougs and Texas A&M to take place at TSU's H&PE Arena. That game will be televised. Should take place in the afternoon/evening. But yes, it's for charity, as Tran says. If you're new to the show, by all means, hit the like button, become a subscriber to the show. There will be more folks talking sports shows during the week as I talk about other sports, not just basketball. So going to branch out, hopefully do, in addition to Sunday FTS, maybe at least 2 more days a week of FTS. And then last but not least, Corey, initially, the Cougs game against Alabama was reported to take place in Vegas on Tuesday, November 26th. That might not happen. It might take place later in that week because there is a Duke-Kansas game scheduled for Tuesday, November 26th in Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. Now the Players Era Festival may take place Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, instead of their initial reports of Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So all of that to digest. All of that info there was told to me in the last 36 hours from my sources. So yes. So real quickly, for the bottom of the hour, get back to TSU women's basketball non-conference schedule. Stephen F. Austin open up on the road for TSU at North Texas. Corey, you're welcome. Thank you for your support. Tell your friends about all the info that I just shared. I summarized it right there. And then at Oklahoma State on November 11th. Then Coach Skeet and her Tigers host Texas A&M Commerce on November 21st. And then the College of Biblical Studies on November 26th. At Baylor on December 4th. Coach Nikki Collin has signed a new contract extension through the 2030 season at Baylor Athletics. TSU, look at this. Texas Southern Women's Hoops will host UCF, Big 12 UCF, on Saturday, December 7th. Then they wrap up the non-conference on the road for the last 4 games at Rice, December 13th, as part of school day kind of thing. Gonna be a lot of loud, screaming kids at Rice for that game between Rice and TSU. Then at Texas A&M, on December 16th. At California Baptist on December 19th. And then at Tarleton State on December 29th. So tough non-conference schedule for Coach Vernette Skeet and her Texas Southern Lady Tigers. And then, of course, SWAC play begins. And this coming season, this will be the first season in a while that TSU women's basketball period. The ladies will play solo on Thursday. Saturday games will be men and women's games, double hitters, and then the men will play on Monday. So a different scheduling for SWAC basketball this coming season for the 2024-25 season. Bottom of the hour. You know what time it is if you are a consistent viewer of the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break. I always like to let everyone know what BS3 Network is about. So it's going to play this spot for about 35 seconds, and then come back, talk about some more news. Got the HCU women's non-conference schedule, and then other news. Got some football news to share. Coach Fritz, Rice Owls, and more on this edition of the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E, and streaming live on Roku via the BS3 Network.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E. I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. You're watching the show on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, FireTV, YouTube, and of course, Roku via the BS3 Network. If you have a Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV. If not, you can go to BS3network.com or BS3TVlive.com. Mr. Trent has commented on it. I'm going to put this up in case you missed it on Monday. Texas Southern announced that head coach Robert Moreland, TSU legend, he passed away. He had been in poor health for a while. He passed away on Monday. May he rest in peace. But some info, if you don't know who Robert Bob Moreland was. Coach Moreland is the all-time winningest coach in TSU history with 406 wins. He served as TSU's head coach from 75 to 2001, plus a one-year stint from 2007 to 2008. A SWAC Hall of Famer, and recently named TSU Hall of Famer. Moreland guided TSU to 6 20-win seasons, 1 30-win seasons, 5 SWAC conference championships, 2 SWAC co-championships, and 3 conference tournament championships. He also won the 5 SWAC Coach of the Year honors and was named American Wire Service 1994 National Coach of the Year and was crowned the 1994 and 95 American Wire Service National Black College Champion. He also coached 3 national scoring champions in Harry Machine Gun Kelly 2 times and current Vice President of Intercollegiate Athletics, Dr. Kevin Granger. Coach Moreland also recruited a plethora of all-time greats in TSU basketball history as the all-time TSU leader in scoring, three-pointers, steals, assists, rebounds, and block shots were recruited by Coach Robert Bob Moreland. Coach Moreland led TSU to the highest of heights on the hardwood as he won and led TSU to an NIA national championship in 1997 and led TSU to its first ever trip to the NCAA tournament in 1990, along with 2 other tournament appearances in 1994 and 1995. So rest in peace to TSU head coach Robert Bob Moreland. Thank you for that moment of silence. In other non-conference women's hoops news, HCU women's basketball has announced their non-conference schedule. Kind of different, kind of interesting. They got 6 home games. Open up at TCU on November 5th, at Texas Tech November 7th, then exhibition game hosting Concordia on the 11th of November. Tran, look at that, Tran. November 17th at Houston. I think that tip-off is 2 p.m., I think. Then home versus Utah Tech on November 21st. Home versus Tarleton State on November 26th. Home versus Division III Southwestern, December 1st. At Big 12 Oklahoma State, December 4th. Home versus St. Thomas on the 17th. And to wrap it up, home versus Sam Houston State on December 20th. All right. Here is some Coach Fritz news. So I can bring it up. Here we go. Football news. Coach Fritz press conferences set for Big 12 now on ESPN+. University of Houston football weekly press conferences with head coach Willie Fritz are set for noon Mondays throughout the season, with fans having the opportunity to tune in each week via Big 12 Now on ESPN+. ESPN+, you all know it, is the digital home of Big 12 Now and is available via the ESPN app, ESPN.com, or ESPNplus.com, and also the Houston Roundball Review website and blogs. You can click on those links, sign up via links on my site because I am an affiliate of ESPN Plus. So if you sign up via the links on my site, my blogs, I do earn a nominal commission. Yes. The pressers begin on Monday, August 26th and run through the final week of the regular season with no media session scheduled for the Cougs off weeks. Houston opened its campaign inside TDECU Stadium at 6 p.m. August 31st against UNLV. Kick off the season August 31st against UNLV at home inside TDECU Stadium. The game should be a sellout. Coug fans, Coug alums, the game should be a sellout. Got a new head coach that you can respect, new head coach who knows what he's doing, great tactician, much more personable, better coach. Y'all wanted it. You got him. You're going to lay the foundation of success for football at Houston for the next few years under head coach Willie Fritz. So get out and support him, support the players. Be there August 31st. Let's see. Well, I see that trend. Okay, that's interesting. All right. Another football tidbit. Couple of things about Rice Owls now. I'm covering a lot of, this is what I do, H-Town Sports. Rice Owls Gabriel Taylor named to the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award. Rice safety Gabe Taylor added to his list of preseason accolades on Wednesday as he was named one of 42 defensive backs to the Jim Thorpe Award preseason watch list. He is a consensus preseason All-AAC selection heading into the 2024 season after earning honorable mention honors from conference coaches last season. He recorded 59 tackles and 10 passes defended with 2 interceptions and 8 breakups. He enters this season as the Owls' active leader with 7 interceptions, and his 178 career interception return yards rank 8th in school history. The preseason watch list is selected by a screening committee whose members compile a list of up to 50 players based on previous performance in NCAA Division I college football and preseason All-America lists. The list is not final, and players who have outstanding seasons may be added to the list as the season progresses. The semifinalists will be announced on October 29th and the finalists on November 26th. The winner will be announced on the Home Depot College Football Awards show on ESPN on December 12th. And the official presentation will take place at the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award Banquet on February 4th next year in OKC. I spoke with Gabe Taylor recently at the American Athletic Conference Football Media Day. Excuse me. Sinus is bad. Look how my man was dressed at the AAC Media Day. Dapper, dapper, dapper. Some quotes from him as we talked on why he chose Rice. The first time I talked to Coach Smith, Brian Smith, the defense coordinator, and Coach Cedric Calhoun, defensive line coach, it wasn't like it was new people that I'm meeting. It felt like they already knew me. The connection was not coach to player, but more of a father to son connection. Houston was a different. The AAC Media Days trend were in Arlington, Texas, up there north Texas. Houston was a different type of connection I had with them. So with them and then Coach Bloom, head coach Mike Bloomgren, with the environment of Houston, it was a no-brainer. I got a tidbit to mention as I'm reading this, as I'm done. I never heard about Rice until they came to my school, Gulliver Prep in Miami. I talked to Coach Sims, and he was like, Rice is just like Gulliver. It's in Houston. So I checked in on it. I checked it out, looked online, did my research, and that's how I found out. Gabe will be the first college graduate on his mother's side of the family. Gabe, about the Rice UH rivalry. It is a rivalry. They're 5 minutes away. It's always good to beat the team across the bridge. You always want to run the city at the end of the day. So beating them and trying to claim Houston is always a good thing. End quote. If you look at the picture, look at Gabe. If you are a fan, a follower of college football, long term, one more time, look at Gabe Taylor. If you did not know, you might know. Gabe Taylor is Sean Taylor's brother. Sean Taylor, the defensive back, may he rest in peace, who played and wreaked havoc at Miami, at the U, and then for the Washington NFL franchise before his life was cut short tragically in a home invasion. Gabe Taylor is Sean Taylor's brother. Gabe is short. I'm taller than Gabe. The website lists him as 5'10". He's not 5'10". Gabe told me he entered Rice at 160 when he was a freshman. He's now a senior at Rice and weighs 191. Yep. He was great bloodline. Sean Taylor was a man. He was a bad man. But yes, he does play like Sean did. Shorter than Sean, hits, but yes, Gabe Taylor, Sean Taylor's brother, named to the preseason watch list for the Jim Thorpe Award. C837, how are you? Thank you for chiming in. Did you catch the earlier news? Have folks told you about the news that you might have missed, or did you miss it? But yes, let me know, because I can summarize it one more time in these last 10 minutes. But until then, news, venue sports. Y'all get your money, get more money to spend. get more money to spend. Venue Sports announces price for upcoming streaming service. Venue Sports, the upcoming standalone streaming service being built through a joint venture to be established by ESPN, Fox, and Warner Brothers, will be available at a launch price of $42.99 per month for the service with a 7-day free trial. Anyone signing up for Venue's launch price will be able to receive the service for that same price for 12 months from time of sign up, with the ability to cancel at any time, which means the price soon enough will be higher than $42.99 per month. So get it while you can, lock it in for 12 months because the price will go up. Targeted at sports fans outside the traditional pay TV bundle, Venue is planning a launch in the US in the fall and will offer thousands of live sports events from all the major pro sports leagues and top college conferences. Since my guys, Tran and CA37, are talking about it, I'm going to put this up. If you don't know, tomorrow, Friday, August 2nd, 6 p.m. Central in Philadelphia, Forever Cougs will square off against the team Eberline Drive in the first semifinal matchup of the TBT Final Four. Rob Gray led the team, Forever Cougs, to win number 4 on Tuesday, July 30th, as they just dog walked Team Colorado 74-49. Rob, 23 points, 11 for 15 from the floor. He was not efficient shooting the ball the first 3 games, but he had it locked and loaded on Tuesday as they mashed Team Colorado 74-49. Fabian White, in his first game for Forever Cougs, because he was playing for the Summer League Rockets prior, came off the bench and he put in work. Fabe scored 15 points and added 6 rebounds and 3 block shots. He was a man on the block. I mean, he was a wall. Stuffing shots back, sending back. But yes, Fabian scored 15 points, 7 for 13 off the bench. His presence made a big difference for the team. No update regarding Wes Van Beck. Wes got injured toward the end of the third quarter, I think, of the game. The team arrived in Philly yesterday. The game will be on FS1 to match up against Eberline Drive. If they do win, there will be a press conference after the game. If they don't, that's it. So tune in if you have FS1. But yes, that's a good point. And that if Forever Cougs wins and the OSU alum team, they're playing the Kentucky alumni team in the second semifinal game on Friday at, I think, 8 o'clock Central. The winners of the 2 games Friday will advance to the title game on Sunday. And I think the game will be over in time for FTS Sunday evening. And to tune in. But yes, watch the game. If you have FS1 Friday, 6 p.m. Central in Philly, cheer on the Forever Cougs as they hoop against Eberline Drive. Ooh, that's a solid team. Don't know many other players on the team, but that's a solid roster, solid team. They play well together. So if you missed it, more Venue Sports info. Here's some. What are your thoughts on Venue Sports? Because I'm kind of curious if who's going to buy it. I don't. Who's going to purchase that money? But subscribers to Venue Sports will have access to linear sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, the SEC network, the ACC network, ESPN News, ABC, Fox, FS1, FS2, the Big Ten network, TNT, TBS, True TV, as well as ESPN Plus. That's a lot. But who's going to spend that $43 a month for 12 months? Not all the games will be part of this Venue Sports. but it offers PGA Championship Golf, PGA Tour Live, as well as college sports, SEC, ACC, the Big East, Big 10, and Big 12, NCAA football, the CFP, men's and women's basketball, including March Madness, combat sports like MMA, UFC, boxing, Bellator, Grand Slam tennis, baseball, MLB, motorsports, NBA. And it says extensive coverage of the NBA with 165 regular season games, plus postseason with playoff games, conference finals, and the NBA finals. But that asterisk, as it says, last thing, blackouts apply and subject to change. So in addition to the NBA, NFL, NHL, soccer, UFL, and the WNBA, all of that will be available as part of the bundle, the Venue Sports Bundle, the upcoming streaming service scheduled to launch this fall. It's a bundle, the package offered by ESPN, Fox, and Warner Brothers. Kind of curious how that's going to work with Warner Brothers if they inevitably lose their lawsuit against the NBA. So that's going to happen, or they settle. Excuse me, they reach a settlement with the NBA. All right, closing moments. Just to recap, if you missed it, news I shared in the first part of the show regarding the Houston Cougars men's basketball non-conference schedule. November 9th, Cougs versus Auburn at Toyota Center. First of a home-and-home series with Auburn. Next season will be in Birmingham. But prior to November 9th, Sunday, October 27th, an exhibition matchup between the Cougs and Texas A&M is in talks, is in discussion. Most likely will happen. The game will take place at Texas Southern's H&PE Arena. Part of the proceeds will go to charity. So yes, TSU will host a Cougs Aggies exhibition matchup on Sunday, October 27th. Game will be televised, but if you can be there, be there. You know, game would start no earlier than 4:00. All right, because the Texans play a home game at noon on that day. And then last but not least, regarding the Cougs non-conference schedule, the Players Era Festival taking place in Las Vegas the last week of November. Reported matchup of the Cougs versus Alabama might not take place on Tuesday, November 26th. Still going to take place as part of the NIL event, but it might not take place on day one of the event. Reason being, Duke, Kansas is also scheduled for Tuesday, November 26th, inside T-Mobile Arena. And that's part of something else, not part of the Players Era Festival. So if the Cougs do play on Tuesday, November 26th, it won't be against Alabama. Perhaps. So let's keep that in mind. And the Players Era Festival might start on Tuesday or Wednesday and last through Saturday rather than Friday, as had been mentioned and discussed and reported for months this year. So that is also something to keep in mind. Plan accordingly. It mucks up travel plans and everything keeps pushing. It just changes on the daily. Great question. That's been a question. I don't have the answer to it. Because Duke, Kansas was announced. The date for that was announced early July, late June. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, hold up now. Whoa, wait a minute. But, and last thing, regarding Auburn, regarding some of the non-conference delays for the Cougs, men's and women's basketball teams not being released yet. The contract for the Auburn home and home hasn't been signed yet as of Wednesday, July 31st. Because as everyone who follows the Cougs know, CA37, you know, the Cougs don't have an AD to sign the contract. And the interim AD is out of town on vacation. So yeah, there you go on that. But we'll see how it all plays out. So a lot to digest there. But Alabama, Houston, it's going to happen. Just probably won't happen on that first day of the Players Era Festival. The Cougs do hope to announce their non-conference schedule next week. And let me say it again. The Cougs do hope to announce their non-conference schedule next week, the first full week of August. Once the contracts are signed, the I's dotted, T's crossed, all those great things. So that'll do it for this edition of the Houston Round Ball Review Takeover. Tell your friends about this show. Tell your friends about the Houston Round Ball Review. Tell your friends about the content provided on this YouTube channel. Mr. A.D. Moore, Adolphus Moore, is in Ohio, is in Canton, Ohio for tonight's Texans game, but also more importantly, for the Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremonies this week, Thursday through Saturday. So check later on tonight, perhaps, but definitely Friday for the next edition of the Ad Max Corner, where AD will be from Canton, bringing content as only he can, talking football on the Ad Max Corner. That'll do it for this edition of the Houston Round Ball Review Takeover. Thank you, as always, for your time. Thank you for your content and questions. I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Round Ball Review. And always keep this in mind. Since 1994, the Houston Round Ball Review. Local name, global perspective. Everyone, take care. Peace.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today, believe it or not, the 1st of August, 2024. Number 1. Project 2025, a 900-page playbook to guide the next conservative administration, is winding down its policy work, and former Trump administration official Paul Dance is resigning. Trump and his Republican presidential campaign have tried to create distance from the Heritage Foundation-led group after its connections to the right-wing conservatives were revealed and criticized. This week, Trump campaign managers Susan Wiles and Kris LaCivita issued a statement. Reports of Project 2025's demise would be greatly welcomed and should serve as notice to anyone or any group trying to misrepresent their influence with President Trump and his campaign. It will not end well for you. Number 2, the Israel Defense Forces, or IDF, announced Tuesday they killed Hezbollah's top military commander Fuad Shukur in a targeted airstrike in Beirut. The next day, Hamas's top political leader Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated in Tehran, with Hamas blaming Israel for that strike. The killing of Shukur was a response to a rocket attack that killed 12 children and teenagers in northern Israel and has the potential to derail ongoing negotiations for a ceasefire and hostage release deal in the Gaza conflict. Number 3. Bay Area book author Pia Jordan discovered that her late mother, Louise Virginia Lomax Winters, was one of the first black nurses in the military with the Tuskegee Airmen during World War II. Pia Jordan, who said she knew about her mother's career in nursing, but when she learned about her being one of the first black nurses in the military with the Tuskegee Airmen, she knew she had to tell anyone who would listen. Jordan learned this while going through her mother's belongings and was shocked by the revelation. Way to go, Mom. Number 4, gas prices in Michigan may influence this year's presidential election. Michigan's average price reached $3.81 per gallon, but decreased to $3.78 per gallon, still higher than last year. A study called Presidential Approval and Gas Prices found a correlation between gas price increases and decreased presidential approval from 1976 to 2007. Number 5, Police often respond to individuals in mental health crises. Officers are more likely to use force in these situations, increasing the risk of harm. Tragically, this was the case for Sonia Massey, a 36-year-old black woman in Springfield, Illinois. At a press conference, attorney Ben Crump highlighted the need for a non-police response to mental health crises, such as a dedicated mental health team or unarmed alternative first responders. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Be kind to yourself, especially during tough times, to nurture and reinforce your self-belief. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with our mental health and wellness contributor, Aprilette Russell, and attorney Natalie Jackson, as we discuss today's top headlines and more. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.